Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. Do me a favor, let me know if these cicadas are too annoying to listen to. If so, I'm going to have to start shooting inside because I have a feeling they're going to be around for a few months. So, today's topic is going to be dealing with TMS ups and downs. So I'm going to take a couple of nice deep breaths. Breathe into nature. Exhale the indoors. And by the way, I'm sitting out here. My landlord's got an old pool that hasn't been opened in like 15 years. It's all covered. But as I sit out here, periodically I'll hear a big frog croaking. I think it's underneath the cover in the water. So it might be like a virtual pond underneath there. All right, so dealing with TMS ups and downs. So as you well know, TMS can be particularly frustrating, scary, depressing, upsetting. One day we can feel good, the next day we feel awful. One day we kind of feel like, wow, I think I got this, I'm gonna be all right, and then whammo, the next thing you know, you're not. And your confidence goes out the window and your fear goes sky high again. And sometimes you might feel like, well, I beat this symptom, but now I've got one or two others or six others, and I've got all these symptoms and I can't beat it. And there's a lot of ups and downs, and that's the journey of recovery. And one thing that will help smooth out these bumps along the road is the core knowledge, the accurate knowledge that TMS means your body's actually okay. My opinion is TMS is an overreaction in the brain and the nervous system to perceived dangers. Sometimes those dangers are repressed emotions, as Dr. Sarno theorized. Sometimes those dangers are movements, or sometimes we could just have a lifetime of scary traumatic events, sometimes emotional, sometimes abuse, sometimes physical, like real illness. Somebody I spoke to said, yeah, I spent 2 weeks as a 7-year-old in the hospital, and it was terrifying having my parents go home at night, and I stayed there by myself, and I was in the hospital because they thought I was going to die. Now, if there's ever a reason for somebody's brain and nervous system to become hypervigilant and to become health anxious, experiences like that make complete sense. And so a lot of times we'll have people develop TMS after some type of a scary event. I know people who got in a car accident and like 2 months later they start to have some pains or symptoms. Or they deal with the death of a parent or a loved one, and they get through it no problem, but afterwards they develop the symptoms. It's almost like the brain decided during this experience, during this caring for an aging, ill parent, left you alone, but afterwards when the grief hit, sometimes those emotions are more powerful and perceived as more dangerous. And so look, there is no one cause of TMS. There could be 50,000. It's not just one thing. So if you are on the hunt and digging and looking for this one repressed emotion or this one traumatic event that once you find it and uncover it, boom, you're going to get better. I don't believe that's the case. Connect the dots. You are where you are because your brain and your nervous system got a little bit sketched out. And it is now responding as if a lot of things are dangerous. And so you don't have to figure out what those dangerous things are and eliminate them. I think I did a video a while ago called We Don't Have to Eliminate Triggers. The reason for that is, for many of us, if our brain and our nervous system is operating up here, static electricity, and everything's perceived as dangerous, eliminating triggers basically means stay in bed for the rest of your life. Don't go anywhere, don't do anything. And even that doesn't work, because I know plenty of people who have become bedridden and they still hurt. So there are lots of ups and downs in this TMS journey. And I'm sorry about these dumb bugs. They sound cool, but they probably make the audio here pretty challenging. So ups and downs in this TMS journey. So what do you do after, feeling okay, feeling like you got it, feeling confident? Now all of a sudden things take a slide for the worse. Remember, it's easy to get scared. It's easy to fall into fear and depression. But I'm going to encourage you with all my heart to remember, if I was doing good yesterday, I can do good again. And I can do good again soon, right? Because a lot of times the pattern seems to be, I'm doing good, I was feeling good for a while, whether it be a day, a week, a month, and then the pain came back and I freaked out and I'm doing horrible now for the next 3 weeks. So what would happen if instead of freaking out upon the return of the symptoms, we simply said, oh, I know what's going on. Check in emotionally, see what's going on, what kind of stuff is going on that may have been correlated to the symptoms changing. If you can find it, great. If you can't, no big deal. But just feel whatever emotions you're feeling. And then very quickly, kind of slide back and reset to the place of confidence, diminished fear, focusing on life, focusing on joy, purpose, meaning, happiness, connection with others. Try to reset as fast as possible once the symptoms return back to that state of deep knowledge and acceptance that I'm actually okay. Because if you can have a good hour, a good day, a good week, month, you can get there. And it doesn't have to take a setback of weeks or months before you can get back to it. The faster you respond to the recurrence or resumption of symptoms or a new symptom showing up, the faster you respond with accurate knowledge, a calming, reassuring, I'm going to be okay, I'm not paying attention to this, and I'm going to shift my focus back to whatever I was focused on, you will massively influence the severity of the recurrence and the duration of how long it sticks around. And even if it doesn't turn off immediately, stay with that confidence, stay with that knowledge, stay with the certainty that if I had a good day, week, or month, there's nothing wrong with my body. So the recurrence of it doesn't mean anything other than the brain perceives some dangers and the old neural pathways went kind of fired up again. Doesn't mean anything is broken. It doesn't mean you've screwed up. It doesn't mean you did anything wrong. It just means that the symptoms came back temporarily. So the faster you get back to that place of confidence. And look, I know I'm going to get some comments from people that say, but I've never had my pain go away. So what do I do? How does this apply to me? And I get it. And I would say the same thing applies to you. Calm, confidence, accurate knowledge, soothing, breathing. Don't let the symptoms throw you. I know they're not fun. They do get our attention. But the sooner you can get to that place of calm confidence, knowing deeply, not just intellectually, but getting it, that I'm okay, and responding calmly, consistently to any symptoms, the faster you're going to get better. It's absolutely how it works. So, even for those folks who feel like they don't have the ups and downs, I will encourage you to just kind of keep consistent. Freaking out's not the answer. That just sets you back. Indifference is ideal, but if you can't get there, at least calmly reassure yourself that you're okay. Breathe, soothe your body. Get off that mental merry-go-round where you're spinning on those fearful, worrisome thoughts. Feel your emotions. Yes, we do want to feel our emotions. Review the knowledge if you need to, if you're kind of forgetting it. If you're not certain if it's TMS, go back and do the assessments. I think you're going to be great. I think you're going to do fine. And if you've recently experienced a downtick in symptoms and then they come roaring back, that's just kind of the way it goes sometimes. And I will point out, sometimes people say, I'm feeling better, so I started doing more, and boy, did I pay for it. I started moving more, I walked more, I did some exercise, or I went out and I spent, an afternoon doing X, Y, and Z. And man, did I pay for it the next day. I must have overdone it. And then they just convinced themselves that my body wasn't ready for that. No, that's not it. The brain probably went, oh my God, what are you doing? Why are you exercising? Are you crazy? Stop that. Here's some pain. That's all that's happening. That doesn't mean you broke anything. So the faster you can respond to the pain coming up the next day after exercising with cool, calm reassurance, almost like you expect it, but in a humorous way. Like, that's pretty funny because it's just the brain responding to the danger signals of me doing more and more in my life. So TMS, absolutely an up and down process, but you can keep the pain spikes at a minimum by keeping your disposition calm, reassuring, smiling, knowing that you're going to get through this and you're going to do great. And when you do that consistently, the brain's got no choice but to believe that you're safe. If you're trying to teach yourself that you're safe, and once a week you're doing a complete freak out, is the brain going to believe you tomorrow when you start saying, no, really, but I'm okay? I don't think it will. I think it's going to say, you're telling me you're safe, but you were freaking out like crazy yesterday. What's that about? So as much as possible, don't freak out. Take that message away from this video. Stop freaking out. All you're doing is confirming in your own mind that certain things are dangerous and these symptoms are dangerous and that you're in danger. And when you do that consistently, freaking out, it's not likely that your brain's going to settle down and turn off symptoms that are all just really a response to perceived danger. And if you're freaking out, you're screaming, I'm in danger, to the brain. So you got to stop screaming, I'm in danger. Start going, hey, no, you're not. Come here. I got you. Soothe yourself like a little kid. Soothe yourself like a scared dog on the 4th of July. You can do this. So, love you guys and gals. Let me know if the cicadas are too much of a problem, and I'll shoot indoors moving forward till they stop screaming. So, love you guys and gals, and I will see you tomorrow.